This is a public service announcement. Please stand by.
Of somebody that's a predator. Okay.
Bingo.
Maybe you need to rethink your allegiance to these people. Maybe it's you that's misguided, not me, okay?
Bingo.
I think that it's pretty normal to think that you don't want to put money in somebody that supports and endorses a predator.
Right.
Like, let's just put it in perspective, okay? If this was your school principal, and would you be doing bakery, bake sales and things for your school principal?
Correct.
If they have those same allegations, oh, wait a second. But I'm not allowed to say that Manny MUA, Patrick Starr, Laura Leach, and all these other people shouldn't be going over to James Charles' launch and putting money in his pocket by doing these endorsements when he's a self-proclaimed predator.
Exactly.
You all need to check out what your fandom's about, okay? And why you've got such undying fandom for these people. I appreciate you saying that you love me. Okay, that's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't take away from the fact that you endorse somebody that endorses a predator, okay?
Bingo.
And I take issue with that. I don't know why you don't.
Bingo.
That's the bigger question.
Bingo. Yep, that's the bigger question. Bingo. Let me flip you all around. I was like, Peter must have known that I was talking about him yesterday in my video about this video and how much I liked it and why I watched it 3 times. Probably saw his analytics and thought this is what people really like, or I don't know. He's just normal. He kind of gets it. He kind of understands like the flow of YouTube and sees what's going on. And you know, like he was saying, like Dramagedon 5 is bubbling up and it's gonna have to do with these people. Why are these people following a predator? Why are they choosing to go to these launch parties? And it must be either that I'm sorry, I don't think being too afraid to speak out is an excuse. I think these people see his numbers still and are like, well, protecting children, clout. That's what all these people, that's what people like Manny and Laura who, you know, has adopted her niece, you know, like these people, some of which have children, still want to protect a predator. Some of these people who want to have kids someday and be parents, they're okay trading clout to protect a predator. Kind of like what happened with Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein and all those people and all the people that he propped up around him. He did that for a reason. Epstein was the kind of guy that liked to take photos with famous people because he knew that when other people looked at that, they just assumed he knew them and they were associated automatically. And so he was able to make himself look like he was very, you know, like well connected to like these girls and his victims and children and people, and it scared them to come out. And it also created this, you know, all these people too kind of had a blackmail effect where when they found, they're like, crap, I'm gonna be associated with them, which is what's happening with James Charles. And in, like I said, in a post-2020 world, we're at a point where you can't do that. So yeah, I mean, it's just, it's crazy that they all think it's okay to protect him, that they all bought his fucking excuse. And like, there are educated people, you know, who have come out and written papers and said, look, you all are getting used. He's using you so he can continue to groom children and prey on them. And now you guys are all supporting his new brand, which is going to allow him to continue to prey on children, which is legal sex like, you're helping fund legal sex trafficking. Like, you know how when they tell you not to buy counterfeit goods, like counterfeit handbags and stuff, because that money gets funneled around and then is used for sex trafficking? It's just like that. So when you support Painted by James Charles, you're supporting his predator lifestyle. You are in essence supporting him being allowed to then continue to groom and prey on children. Because remember, he has said in podcasts where he knows that he has more money than whoever he is talking to in the DMs, and that he'll just offer to fly them out and pay for their ticket.
Talk to guys that live in different states and stuff, and I'm like, hey, like, why don't you come visit? And like, well, I can't afford a plane ticket. Yep. And it's like, okay, well, I can. So like, get on the plane. And like, well, I just don't really feel comfortable with that. But like, I love you and I really want to be together. And I'm like, well, we can't be together because you can't afford a plane ticket. You're probably still in either high school or college, like a senior in high school or in college.
Right.
So like, either you accept the flight and realize that like, this is what I'm bringing to the relationship so we can spend time together if you actually care about me.
Yep.
Or we literally never meet because you can't afford it.
Well, how is he paying for those plane tickets for these children to fly out and meet him? Which, I'm sorry, at this point, I would not put it past him to have done this already. To have already flown someone out and them maybe not even realizing at this point that they were a victim.
I haven't flown. I have not had many flyouts, as you're calling them.
Yeah.
And whenever I have, it's been people that I was talking to for quite a while.
Yeah, so you
and
know
like
it.
FaceTiming every night beforehand.
Okay,
So.
good.
Because remember, a lot of, we saw in the Colleen Ballinger with Adam that a lot of victims don't realize that they were victimized as a teenager or as a child until they become an adult and start reflecting. Like, usually it's when you get into your mid-20s, 30s. Sometimes it's when people end up having kids. They start looking back at their childhood and realizing that a lot of the things they thought were normal were not normal. They were actually disgusting and gross and wrong, and they were taken advantage of, they were used, they were abused, and then they can see where their innocence was broken when they were abused by said person, that had this negative long-term effect on their life that they are still dealing with. And you know, a lot of times that's when people either get into like get into therapy. A lot of people end up in addiction. You know, a lot of people have a lot of long-term mental health issues. So this is so you're supporting this, especially if you're one of those YouTubers who are big on mental health and wanting to promote positive mental health on your channel. By supporting James Charles and allowing him to use footage of you at his launch party, of you at your home greeting him and supporting his pain and stuff, you're supporting him psychologically damaging people for the rest of their lives. You're supporting bad mental health. You're not actually helping mental health. You're a part of the problem. You're part of a deep problem that is creating deep psychological scars that will never be healed. That can only hope to, that these people can only hope to manage. Because there are some traumas, and I've talked about this, that people don't recover from. That you have to become a new person from, and this is one of them. That you have to learn to manage the scars and the pain. And it's like mental, it's like, you know how I talk about nerve damage and how I have chronic pain? It's like that. Like, they're not going to get rid of this emotional pain. It'll always be there, and their just biggest hope is to learn how to properly manage it, so maybe they can be happy and have some semblance of a new life. Because what this person did to them in their innocence as a child broke them. And if you are one of those YouTubers, and I said no one really watches my channel, or influencers that were there supporting him, please, please, please really think about what you are seriously doing when you welcome James Charles into your life, into your social media business, into your subscribers' life. What impact you're doing, because there is a ripple effect when predators and gross people like James Charles do stuff like this. There is a ripple effect into the community, and it's negative, and the biggest impact is with the victim, but then it ripples out, and it affects the whole community, and it affects a lot of people. And you're gonna see that, like Peter said, Dramageddon 5 is coming, and you're gonna see all these people like Manny and Laura and Tana and all these people who chose to, you know, stand by James Charles are going to be affected by what he did, because they chose to stand so close to where the impact, where the ripple started. The ripple effect is a real thing, and it's gonna happen, and you're gonna see it happen with this Dramageddon 5 that's coming. So it is, yeah.
This is Katie Ann White, translating from a facility located in the Coachella Valley.